Well, good afternoon, and once again, welcome to the 26th annual Hansel Sullivan Memorial Pull here, the Countdown to Pull Time show. And, well, I'm Dan Mayer, and joined by special guests this afternoon. We got a couple of them here. We got last night's winner, Christy Seacrest, and then we got Kelly Nichols joining us as well. Come on in, Kelly, take a seat. And
I was drawing my number. Don't make me
yeah, she was drawing her number here, so getting ready for tonight's show.
hold up the show.
What a field of two-wheel drives that have, always come here to this event. This year, 36 of them pulled last night. And Christy, let's talk about your run first, because you had an early number in the class, 36 in the class. You came out over 333 feet, I think it was, the final distance there. Tell us about that run.
The run was great. I really had to watch getting myself all stressed out completely, as I couldn't get it into gear to even get it onto the track. But once I got it on the track, with the help of several people and competitors, the pass was good. So very excited. Never thought it would hold, but very, very excited. There was a lot of trucks, a lot of good quality trucks coming behind us. So 36 of us were what was in the field, and I was like 8th hook, 7th hook, something like that.
Yeah, so we had a restart. So I think officially you were hook number 5 and then had to sit down there. We saw you down there on the other side of the track, kind of watching everybody. Were you putting the hex on the rest of them there, or the little voodoo something or other to keep them back?
Something. I was trying everything. Something. Mostly pacing.
Now, we had talked a little bit yesterday afternoon about when you guys come to a 2-day hook that, you'll share the driving duties with your husband, throughout the summer. But when you come to a 2-day hook, one or the other will drive the whole weekend. Tell us the theory behind that.
The theory is that usually whoever drives the first night drives the second night, no matter whether that's, for instance, at Toma you'd pull on Thursday and Saturday, or if it's back-to-back hooks like here, Friday and Saturday. And the reason for that is because usually you have a better chance, in our opinion, of the same driver driving both nights. So if you mess up the first night, you know what to do to correct it for the second night, as to putting a complete different driver in.
So that works pretty well for you guys. I mean, throughout, does it lead to some interesting conversations throughout the summer, or does that work pretty solid for you guys?
It actually works pretty solid. He usually dictates who is driving where, as to who does better on what tracks. Okay.
So what particular tracks are right now that you can look at the Grand National Circuit and say, hey, I'm going to run here, here, here?
Definitely Bowling Green, because I won there a few years ago and usually finish decent there, and because Bowling Green stresses him out with all the people. He loves Toma and usually finishes decent there. Last year wasn't our best year anywhere, but yeah, Toma's one of his favorite tracks to pull at. Also, Rockwell will be his track, because I cannot go because of my job. So.
Gotcha. So you guys, more or less, does it work out where it's like 50-50, or is it kind of?
Yeah, it's definitely a 50-50.
Oh, pretty cool. Well, we got some different things here for this is, day 2 of the 2-day hook. And you can see out front here, we've got this, I guess a local guy had made this sign here for the Big Ed Challenge winner. So right now you're in the catbird seat for that with the win last night. Of course, the lowest finish of the 2 sessions will win the Big Ed Challenge. We've also got, some pretty cool plaques as well. They brought those down here so we could show everybody at home what those look like. As here is the winner here for the Big Ed Challenge. That'll be later tonight. We'll be giving these awards out. So thanks to the folks with some beautiful plaques here for this event. And have you drawn yet for tonight yet?
I did.
Uh-oh. And?
It's number 7. It's way early in the class, which I thought was going to be bad last night and turned out great. So let's just cross our fingers and hope we have a chance at one of these beautiful awards and the beautiful homemade trophy.
Now, last night with the victory, you thanked some people. You said you had some more people you'd like to thank. Let's go through the list here and make sure we talk about everybody.
Definitely. Sajax Transport is one of our hometown sponsors, pretty close to us, actually. They do their best to help us out throughout the season. Hot Shot Secret is another one. Brian Knox Boyd Performance did a beautiful job and helped us a lot with our motor over the winter. Modern Machine put some new rails in our chassis and helped us with our chassis that we had over the winter as well. Trying to think, sorry.
You're good.
Can't remember.
Okay. Well, one question that I like to ask everybody, how did you get involved in the sport of pulling? Where did it all start for you, and how did you get started in pulling?
Actually, my husband and brother started out pulling. They had been friends, did demolition derbies. I come up and did demolition derbies. We went from it to naturally aspirated truck pulling. My brother got into a circle track car in 2017 after Brent had ran Grand National in 2015 and 16. I decided to step back. My brother was getting out, and I kind of looked at him and said, will you teach me what I need to know on how to drive? And I don't want to take anything from you, but at the same point in time, I want to learn if I can. And he said, absolutely, I'd love to show you. So thank God he did.
So the two-wheel drive, you stepped right into the super modified two-wheel drive class, or did you run the naturally aspirated before that?
I drove the naturally aspirated probably 3, maybe 4 times. I wasn't driver full-time by any means or even part-time. I just hit a couple shows, and I drove the blower truck at a couple of open shows, like maybe twice.
Okay. All right. So pretty much all two-wheel drive is what really everything that you have driven, no matter if it's naturally aspirated or blown.
Absolutely. Yeah,
okay.
We've only done two-wheel drive.
Well, very cool. All right. Well, good luck this summer. I know we got a busy schedule coming up here with the Grand National Circuit, and of course we got tonight's event, and Mother Nature shining on us here once again. So we're going to get tonight's action in. So good luck to you, and on this Big Ed Challenge we got coming up here for the two-wheel drives. We've also got some really cool hats that another sponsor has kicked in here tonight. So some pretty cool swag here for the weekend.
Definitely so. I also got to give a huge shout out to Chase Richardson and everybody at Full Pull Motorsports for all you're doing for the two-wheel drive class and all of pulling in general.
Well, we appreciate that. And with that, we're going to bounce things over here to our next guest, Kelly. And Kelly Nichols last night finished in the top 10. I think we're right around that number 10 spot.
10 exactly. Yeah.
So, yep, you guys, both of your trucks, your husband Russ's truck was second last night, and then you were 10th. So, two-truck team, you got them both in the top 10. Congratulations on that.
Thank you. Yeah.
So now tell us about, we have seen you on the sidelines for quite a few years.
Yes.
And then when did this come into where you started driving the truck?
Well, I started driving full-time probably last year. We built our chassis and the whole truck and got everything together and on the national circuit last year. I dabbled in it when I could pull Russ out of the seat. In 2014, he started with two-wheel drive.
Okay.
So we've been pulling the actual two-wheel drive class for several years, and then I just started joining him. So we've had to get a lot of different things going on in our pits with the bigger hauler. The small trailer don't work anymore, so you change your routine around a little bit on how you travel to get to and from.
For sure. So last year was the first year with the two-truck team, and now I know previous to that, though, we've seen you behind the wheel of Russ's truck at, some Ohio State events and stuff like that, right?
Yes.
Okay. And so tell us about that rookie season on the Grand National Circuit. How did that go for you?
It was kind of nerve-wracking, and it's intense.
So you've gone from crew chief to into the seat, kind of that transition.
Yeah. It's tough. There's so many trucks out there. I mean, there was 36 here.
Right.
It's almost like a bowling green.
Right, and last year I think the NTPA set a record as far as amount of vehicles that actually ran for points on the two-wheel drive division last year. So that was, another thing that, everywhere you went there was, 30, 40 trucks, and makes it a little tough.
Definitely tight competition, and when they run them and pack them in like within a foot or 2 or 6 inches here and there, that's 36. Poor girl last night had to wait for 30-some trucks to go, it seemed like, because she was actually 7th to hook, I believe. And it's nerve-wracking sitting down there at the end waiting for all these good trucks to come back behind you.
Absolutely. And, tonight, same thing. And we got, same group of trucks here. I've added maybe 1 or 2 more. Hard to believe, but
I did hear some more pulled in, yes.
Yeah, so we got some more two-wheelers tonight. Now, what about draw position for you tonight? Now, last night you were pretty late in the class.
Yes. Russ was 6th. Chrissy was about 7th. And I was 23rd, I believe, and pulled out a 10th place. So the track it was pretty consistent. I mean, there were some flaws here or there, but that's 36 trucks that's going to change from first hook to last hook. And getting 10th out of all these trucks, being that late in the class, I mean, we're okay with that.
Now, I'm sure there's some folks you would like to thank for helping you with your guys' effort.
Of course, yes. Oh, and by the way, I do hook 11th tonight, so I'm right after the
Oh,
champ
okay,
here,
so you're real early tonight.
She'll
Now, where's Russ
she'll
in the
show me how to
field?
do it. I haven't drawn his yet
okay.
because I had to get here for this appointment, so we're going to go do that here in just a minute. I definitely have to thank. It takes a small village. I mean, we got so many people at home. His brother, Robert, does our tires and cuts them and is always coming up with new ways to get all that taken care of. And then my dad, and then we have Roy and my pit crew that kind of comes and goes. I have different folks at different areas, whatever state we might be in. We have different people that come to help us. So we've got Joe and Debbie and Greg and Larry Kurtzinger, and with Roy and everything, he's helping us out. So we have everybody. And, of course, Russ, he works endless hours trying to get everything ready. So
For sure. And once again, Grand National Circuit for both trucks this summer?
Yes, that's the plan. We put in for it. So.
Okay, all right.
Yep.
Well, it's, it was nice to spend a little bit of time with a couple Grand National champion teams here, as both of your guys' teams have won championships, and very impressive, and how hard that is to do. So congratulations on that, and well, good luck to both of you tonight as far as the Big Ed Challenge goes in the win here. So we'll hopefully see you ladies in the top three here this evening.
I hope so. 1 and 2, Chrissy.
That'd be great. Thanks so much.
Well, thanks for spending a little bit of time with us. Once again, we got Christy Seacrest and we got Kelly Nichols joining us here, two-wheel drive pullers here at the 26th Annual Hansel Sullivan Memorial Pull. All right, so watch for the two trucks here tonight. Nothing easy about it. And then the one fine edge of Kelly Nichols here in super modified two-wheel drive. At this time, bringing Jason Schultz, and we'll talk a little bit about the full pull picks here we got coming up here tonight, as we're going to have 4 classes competition here tonight. And I believe all 4 of those are going to be
we have
on
3
the platform.
games up.
Oh, so 3 games.
We're trying to confirm the light modified jet. So
okay.
We weren't sure exactly who was coming. So I think we need a shinier desk, Dan.
Well,
the future's so bright, you got to wear shades, right? So
there you go.
It was fun last night watching you guys go from your short sleeve shirts to
a hockey
we'd
game.
switch to you and Jeremy, and you could see your breath coming from you. So
yes, it was like an ice box last night. There, it got pretty chilly.
Another cool thing about this valley, Dan, when the two-wheelers would let out of it last night, you could hear that echo.
You could hear them from over
I
at
wonder
the Speedway,
how far people could hear that away from there.
Yeah, sounds pretty cool.
What a great event. You and Jeremy were awesome last night on the microphone. We had a lot of people watching. Had a lot of people playing full pull picks. We had a big winner last night in the two-wheel drive class. It was a pick 2 to finish in a 3. So they placed a $5 on. They picked Russ Nichols to finish in the two in the top 3. They picked Russ Nichols and then the field pick. And then so Midnight Revenger, Jared Nelson came through with the field pick, and he, on a $5 play won $142.50. So that's fun, and that's what's fun about it. It's like we talked about this afternoon, Dan. It's a $5 play,
right?
To get in there and do that. It's not like you're betting the farm,
right?
So anything like that. So it's all good to go. So
right. So that particular game with the two-wheel drives as well as the diesel trucks, is going to be
the pick 2 to finish in the top 3,
pick 2 to
and
finish.
then our 4x4 super modified trucks with TNT. And I love this class with the long wheelbase. I think you and I sat and watched them. Where did we sit in the stands?
A couple places we saw them during the winter here at
Chelsea?
Lexington and Shelbyville.
Chelsea, what would you like, Chelsea?
Can you announce that Joey Alexander left his wallet at the TNT?
Can we use his credit cards, Chelsea, before we announce that? You don't think we should?
Okay.
Joey
It's not
Alexander.
buying-
Joey
Yes.
Alexander, you left your wallet at the TNT trailer.
You're going to be looking for that. You're going to need that.
So we're tag teaming this here like that? So.
Right. We got that taken care of.
So we're starting an hour earlier tonight. And I heard you talk to Kelly about she was a later draw, so finished in the top 10. But that first top 3 or 4 were earlier hooks in the two-wheel drive class. There was a spot in there where they just started going a little bit farther, and then Christy, and you heard Christy even say that, I didn't think it was going to hold.
Mm-hmm.
When you and Jeremy were announcing last night, did you think it was – I heard one of you say they're building the road.
Well, they were building the road, and then it was starting – we thought we were just going to keep piling it on. 230 – we had 231, 233, and then all of a sudden that was it.
Okay.
You know, it was like they turned off the water faucet.
She
They started
did she
going
end up
backward.
at 338, 334.
330,
That
yeah.
the winning distance last night.
Yeah, right around that. And I think Russ was 331 in number 2 spot.
So they're going diesel trucks tonight first.
Jared went 329 late, and I thought, okay.
Oh, it's coming back.
It was coming back around, right?
And did you see a lot of competitors trying different lines last night, guys?
Oh, my gosh. They worked everywhere over to the left, clear over to the left side. We saw them right on the right chalk line, everywhere, and then, right down
So
the middle.
did Christie
everywhere.
go right down the middle early on, or where were you seeing?
Right around the first few trucks were right around that middle spot of the track, if I remember right. And then they really started to get radical when the distances started falling back a little bit. And
Well, and you saw some, when I see Jesse Petro towards the end of the class, he's going to hero or zero it. He does not. He isn't here for second place to begin with anyway.
Exactly.
So
yeah, he's
it's all
not going to.
good.
So he was trying. I think he was way over on the left-hand
I heard
side
one of you say, "Man, nobody's been to this close to the chalk line before." So from inside the production studio there. So diesel trucks are going to lead it off tonight, and we're starting an hour earlier. Typically, Dan, you see that class where the sun's going down. Sometimes it can be an advantage if there's a bunch in the class, and if you have a later hook and you catch a little bit of that moisture coming up. I don't know if we saw that in the two-wheel drives last night because I think the sun was up still, or it was just starting to set
It
when
was
the
just
top
starting
3
to
or
set,
4.
but when it set last night, boy, it went from, we had about 70 degrees, and when it set, we went to 50, I think, it just automatically. I mean, as soon as it made its way behind the trees there, temperature just dropped, and that air became really, really good.
With the two-wheel drive puller, what would they – I hear them talk about the pills or whatever. What would they have to done differently possibly from the time they thought the temperature was going to be? What would they do?
They always say good air, you add more fuel with it.
Okay.
So you got that good dense air, you add more fuel and making more power.
Perfect.
But a track like that, you don't need all that power.
Right.
Because that's what they said, a little bit tricky on that. So that's kind of the fine line you have to walk with, and you saw that with a lot of competitors last night, with, blowing fuel out some of the pipes. And
Shooting ducks, you guys like to call that?
Yeah, shooting ducks. That's an old aneurysm there, or whatever you could call that. But
mannerism.
Mannerism, whatever.
I think an aneurysm is something else,
aneurysm
Dan,
in your head, I
Yeah, I
think.
think so.
Yeah, we don't,
Dr. Dan. Dr. Dan
don't
Mayer.
go there.
Oh, I love it. So I just heard a 3.0 diesel truck starting off. Again, fans, 6 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be live on fullpull.live. Obviously, we'd prefer to have you here, but if you can't be here, we got you covered on the live stream. And whether you're sitting here or whether you're at home, you can jump on fullpullpicks.com as well. 3.0 diesel trucks are going to be up first. So, Dan, let's have a little fun, Dan.
Okay.
I'm going to go to the Full Pull Picks app right now. And diesel trucks are first. So it was the Perkins gentleman. Is it Caleb Perkins? Caden Perkins. He won last night.
Yeah, Caden and Landon are the two drivers. They're the brothers that share.
So this is a pick 2 to finish in the top 3, and there is no field pick, Dan, because I think we have about 10 trucks. So that sun is killing me, Dan. So Gunslinger, Night Moves. Gunslinger's a favorite right now at 1-1. Night Moves is 7.5 to 1. Reaper 7.5 to 1. Smoke Show 7.5 to 1. Perkins Diesel, last night's winner, is even money right now. Just Winging It is 7.5 to 1. Overtime is 7.5 to 1. Hulk is 7.5 to 1. And Side Hustler Amanda Scott's 3 to 1. So it appears a lot of people are picking favorites right now of Amanda Scott, Side Hustler, and Perkins Diesel, and the Gunslinger. Who do you like, Dan?
I'm going to go with. Well, you got to go with last night's winner. They're close to home.
Yep.
So, and then I would go with last year's champion, Bo Curry, with the Gunslinger.
Okay.
Yes, that would be my 2 picks.
That's what a lot of people are doing so far. So, but we'll do it as well. We'll get behind that and play that game. See what we can do here. And then we're going to go to light modifieds again. We do not have a game up for that yet. We weren't sure who was coming. We'll see if we can still get something up or not. Once we see the lineups, I'll check with the alley. All right. Let's go back to 3.0. We just did 3.0. Let's do two-wheel drive trucks now, Dan. So this is a pick 2 to finish in a 3, but the field pick came through last night for our big winner with the $5 play to win the 142. Big stick right now is 7.5 to 1. Hot and Nasty Terry Timmerman is 1.8 to 1. Wayne Timmerman is Showtime is 7.5 to 1. Midnight Revenger, Jared Nelson got third last night, right?
Yep.
Okay, he is 2.5 to 1.
So he's out of the field pick.
Yep, so it got mixed around. Sweet Revenge, 7.5 to 1. Two-timing, Chad Mayhill, 18 to 1 right now. So that's a big name. That's a long shot right now. Suffer Insanity, Chase Richardson is at 2.5 to 1. Old Blue, Chad Mayhill's 18 to 1. Kathy's Complaint, 7.5 to 1. Sawmill Express, 7.5 to 1. Nothing about it. Nothing easy about it. Excuse me. That's our Seacrest truck there. 3.7 on the edge. 1.8. One fine edge. 18-1, Dan. So who do you like that? So everybody else is in the field if I didn't read their name.
So let's take a long shot.
Okay.
Let's go with One Fine Edge.
Okay.
That was 18-1, right?
Yep.
And let's go with the Chad Mayhill long shot there, the 17-1.
Okay.
That was the two-timing truck, wasn't
Two-timing?
it?
Yep.
Yeah. So let's go for some long
I
shots
like it.
there.
And you know, you and I both know those aren't real long shots.
No.
It's just currently where the games are. So on that. So good deal. All right. And then our last class of the night, we're going to go to those super modified four-wheel drive trucks, Dan. The long wheelbase of the TNT, and that's going to be a head-to-head, Dan. So in the head-to-heads, fans, you don't have to pick. They don't have to win the class. They just have to do
You
better.
just got to finish ahead of the other ones. in
Two
that
or three
block.
or four, and I think we have four. And I'm waiting for my phone. I got to get back in there. The sun wasn't out earlier. I thought, well, I might be okay.
Then we talked about
Then
it. And
you
it
talked
came
about
out.
it, and it came out. So, all right, here. So super modified four-wheel drive head-to-head. Radical XL is 1.2-1 now. Steve Clem, we saw him win in Shelbyville,
Couple places,
right? Yep.
yeah. They won in Lexington, Shelbyville.
Big Nasty,
Farm Show.
Jared Jones 2-1, last year's points champion, Pops Bandit.
Now Jared's not driving tonight. Jared Jones is not driving.
Okay, who is driving?
It's either going to be Galen's son's going to be doing the driving, or I think Galen's son was going to do the driving.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
Or
that
Pops
was the,
Bandit, who need to come back and get his wallet.
Yep.
Chelsea
and
came over.
actually, I think he made his way over
All right,
there.
so
So
that's Joey Alexander. So right now the favorite is Steve Clem. Jared Nelson, or Big Nasty sitting in the middle there, about 2-1, and then Pops Bandit is 3-1. Who do you like out of that head-to-head? All they have to do is finish in front of those other two trucks, Dan.
I think we are going to go with the. Let's see here. Let's go Pops Bandit.
Pops Bandit?
Hometown pull.
I like
He'll
it.
do
Yeah,
well.
he just lives down the road,
That's
I believe
right.
Donnie told me.
Yep.
And on the other side of our head-to-head bracket, again, fans, you have to pick both of these to win. Trailer Trash
They don't
is
have to win.
No, they have to win. I'm sorry.
That's right. They got to finish
For
ahead
you
of
to
the other.
win the game, you have
Right.
to pick two. Yep.
Right.
Sorry.
But they have to finish ahead of the others
Two.
in that block.
Yep. Trailer Trash, Why Not, and The Last Responder.
Got to go with the last responder. You don't see a Cadillac hearse
Ever.
very many. But of course, you got the van too. So
Yep,
you
the
know,
Why
you got
Not
two.
van.
So
Yeah,
let's
this
go
is
with
full of
let's go with the hearse tonight.
Good deal. So our picks are in, Dan. That's going to be a lot of fun here. So, yeah, it's polling season officially. And I'm glad for the Sullivans and all their volunteers. Thank you for all the hospitality, the great polar meal this afternoon. I think it's Rob Crowley made that cool.
Yes, that is
I saw
awesome.
that. Yep,
Yes.
that's that cool graphic or the sign for the Big Ed Challenge.
Going to give that away to the winner of the Big Ed Challenge tonight. And, of course, we got the plaque. We've got hats, all kinds of cool stuff.
And you posted on the Full Pulse Social with that video of for
Dick
the winner
McPherson.
from.
Yeah, Tricky Dick.
So
Back
where's he
in,
at now?
2002. He's retired right
He's
now.
retired?
Yep.
Where's he live?
Right around where Russ Nichols is from, down there, southern part of Ohio. He's actually from Circleville, Ohio, was Dick McPherson was from. But
So we've
Yep.
been talking about you, Dan, in a good way, of course.
Well, that's good.
Never a bad way. We want to have a new podcast called Stump the Dan. Okay? Where we just get people to put in questions, and you have so many minutes, and then you have to do push-ups. You have to do push-ups or pound bush lights or something if you don't get it right. So.
Oh,
what do you-
okay.
I don't know. I'm just making this up.
Okay.
Really,
Yeah.
but I just thought it'd be Stump the Dan.
It'd be interesting.
No, but everybody regards you as kind of the guru of the polling, right, Jeremy? Dan's the man. The librarian. You are the librarian. So let's Stump the librarian. Can we
the
have some fun with this?
Yeah, sure.
I don't know.
Send in your questions.
Send your questions.
Yeah.
To Full Poll social media.
There you go.
And Stump the. Should we call it Stump the Dan or Stump the librarian?
Yep. Also, we got to
You,
throw
you
a
didn't
plug
even
in.
hear me. I was asking a question, Dan.
Oh,
I mean,
we
I
said
know-
librarian. We said librarian.
said librarian.
We
Okay.
settled on that. See, Schultz, there you go again. You're going 200 miles an
What is
hour.
it,
You're
the
not.
cart ahead of the horse?
Yes,
Yeah,
there
the
you
cart
go.
ahead of the horse.
Is that
So-
what Chase always says?
Yes, he does.
Yes, he
Yes,
does.
he
Yes. So we've already.
I actually don't have a
determined-
horse. I just have a cart. Tell diesel trucks to register and get to the scales.
Now.
I mean, this is action
live.
packed.
This is live.
So we do. This is what happens at the polls, fans. This is what happens at the polls. So
we also got to send put in a plug for tomorrow night, Sunday night, 7 o'clock.
it starts again.
Yes, the Farley picks start up again. We got 3 more classes.
What are you doing tomorrow night? What class?
We're doing the super stock diesel trucks.
Okay, and how many of them are pulling there?
There's only a field of 20, I believe 20, that have signed up for that
Okay.
class, but it's only going to be Friday night.
Yep.
So we've been doing Thursday and Friday nights. This will just be a one-night show, and then we'll do Monday night. We'll do the mini rods. That'll be a 2-night show, and then we'll finish out on Tuesday with the pro stocks. It'll be another 2-night show for Thursday and Friday. So tomorrow nights will be a quick show.
I love it. I love it. Yes. I just spotted Brent Payne. That means the light mod is here. Their new light modified tractor.
Yes.
So I don't think he just came down to see you, Dan.
No, he's here to win.
He's here to win.
He's here to win.
Also,
yeah.
He's here to win. Yes. I wonder, is Brent driving or is Johnny driving tonight? Johnny, you driving? Yeah, come here, Johnny. quick little interview. Johnny Payne, everybody. Johnny Payne. Got a couple minutes left here in the countdown to pull time. This drives Dan crazy. Yeah, this drives Dan crazy because he's all calculated. I'm just like, let's go. Let's go. Johnny Payne, sit down next to the great Dan Mayer. Talk into the mic, Johnny. You're not as exciting, loud as I am. Here you go, buddy.
Well, there he goes. See, he brings you on, and there he goes. He boogies. But Johnny, nice to see you here, and tractor all ready to go. What have we changed here for the year, or we just come here and make a couple laps, make sure everything's ready to go?
All of the above.
Okay.
I mean, we changed ring and pinion, went a little faster, so we could run 3 engines too. So we just slowed the gearbox down some. So yeah, that's about it.
Is that the plan then for the summer? Is to dabble a little bit in the modified class when you're at the same event kind of deal? Or are you guys going to go to some more events that just run strictly the modifieds? Or?
We're going to try to be ready for Hutch.
Okay.
So
all right. So that'll be the first time with the 3-engine combination then?
Yep.
All right. Well, what did we, tonight we're going to run like a light mod setup here for this class. You said, you got a new rear end ratio in the tractor. You're checking that out. And we done anything else with the vehicle, or is this pretty much it?
That's it.
Okay. Well, I mean, we saw it run last year. It was pretty stout. So
yeah, we kind of just want to leave it the same and see what else we could do. So.
And how about you? How about the psyche here going in second year? You got some wins under your belt. That championship there at Bowling Green, and I mean, is it all sunk in yet or not yet?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Mean, a win's a win, but that's only one win.
Well, I mean, you're one of those. You followed Dad your whole career, and always had time in the seat. You finally got that opportunity, and man, you just flex them muscles out there. It's got to feel good, don't it?
It feels good, yeah.
Yeah. Well, good luck to you here tonight. We know you guys got to get all registered and get signed in and all that because we're going pretty early here tonight. But thanks for spending a little bit of time with us, Johnny.
Thank you.
All right, Johnny Payne running the light modified class here tonight, as we should have, I think, about 6 or 7 of them. I think they said we're going to be on hand here tonight, so that'll be pretty cool. So with that, we will sign off here. Once again, make sure you head on over to Full Pull Picks here and get your picks in before that particular class starts. And we'll be going right at 6 o'clock, Full Pull Live here, bringing you 4 classes here from the 26th Annual Hansel Sullivan Memorial Pull. Jeremy, come on in here. We'll before we sign off here, and my cohort here in crime, Jeremy Krieger from just outside of Louisville. And for Jeremy and I, it's not too far of a ride down 71 to get here. And Jeremy, we'll let you take a seat here. And what are your takeaways from last night's pull?
Well, it was cold.
Yes.
It was hot and cold. But I think
all within 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's and the wind, like the wind here along this little valley area, was pretty fierce. But I feel like the air was really good for some horsepower last night, and I feel like the prognosticators have seen it. They're going to see it again tonight, and I feel like the people who maybe weren't as competitive last night will make a play here tonight in all classes. But I think key takeaways. Really enjoyed seeing the folks, the walking tall, diesel machine win last night in the light limited. And, Christy Seacrest, what can you say? Out of the number 5 hole, very early hook in the class, holds on. We were talking about it. I kept thinking, okay, somebody's going to get there. Somebody's going to get there. Jared Nelson comes late in the class and goes into the 3rd spot.
It's a little scare, right?
Yeah, and then it just, but I think, watching it back and looking at some stuff like Chase Carey in that bucket last night with his helmet out looking for that chalk line and the wheels are cocked one way and he's got the brakes and gets it straight. But yeah, no, I think it was a good night and looking forward to 4 classes here tonight, starting a little bit earlier, and I think it's going to be another fun round of session number 2 here tonight at the 26th Annual Hansel Sullivan Memorial.
All right, so quick announcement here, some quick housekeeping. We need limited pro diesel trucks to the scales as well as early modified runners. If you got an early number in the modified class, you need to get to the scales. And drivers meeting at 5:30. So drivers meeting at 5:30 need to get there. Now, Jeremy, I saw last night that light limited class that started us off.
Yep.
One of the best shows that I have ever seen.
Agreed.
With that particular class.
Agreed.
They were talking. We had all the tractors within 10 feet of each other, and what a show they put on. I mean, everybody's negative here or there. Oh, they don't run. Blah blah blah. The heck with that. We saw one of the best last night, didn't we?
Agreed. And I think, a lot of people talk about alcohol versus smoke, and I feel like it was great last night.
Oh,
like
yeah.
We had a great mixture of both, diesel tractors and smokeless tractors, and it was a great show. And, it was good to see, the late hooks coming in, and, I thought Lindsay had a shot at the last, and Folks had a shot at the last, and he, takes the class from, I think, the second to last hook, maybe, somewhere in there. So it was really fun, and like I say, we'll do it again tonight. It's going to be even more fun. But yes, I'm with you. That was a great class to watch to get us started last night for sure. But hey, we got super modified 4s tonight.
That's right.
We got light modified tractors as well. So 2 more that we didn't have last night, in addition to the Big Ed Challenge. Lots of fun things occurring here tonight. If you're in the area, please come on out and see us. 6 o'clock start time. If you can't be with us tonight, make sure you tune in on Football Live.
Absolutely. We can't add anything to that. With that, we will sign things off. We'll be back here at 6 o'clock, and get ready